The legendary Toni Kroos says goodbye to football. What words did he find for his fans? And in London, another sensation. Chelsea is parting ways with Pochettino. What is behind this unexpected decision? Meanwhile, Karim Benzema is not thrilled with Saudi Arabia. What's wrong with the star Frenchman? And that's not all. A conflict is brewing between Xavi and Laporta at Barcelona. Are the Blaugranas in for a big change? All this and much more in today's edition. Here we go. Barcelona, often celebrated for its footballing prowess, is now facing significant turmoil as rumors swirl about the potential sacking of manager Xavi Hernandez. This development comes less than a month after club president Joan Laporta persuaded the legendary midfielder to remain in his role, sparking a wave of discontent among the club's supporters. The tension reached a boiling point during Barcelona's recent La Liga match against Rayo Vallecano, where fans vocally supported Xavi while expressing their dissatisfaction with Laporta. The chants of "Xavi sí, Laporta no" highlighted the growing divide between the club's leadership and its fan base. Reports indicate that Laporta, known for his aggressive management style, is considering dismissing Xavi despite having begged him to stay earlier this year. This potential move has reopened old wounds within the club, which had only recently begun to heal after a disjointed campaign. In April, Laporta had successfully convinced Xavi to continue leading the team, presenting a united front alongside sporting director Deco in a public show of solidarity. However, recent developments have cast doubt on this unity. On May 15th, Xavi addressed the club's financial struggles in a press conference, emphasizing the need for fans to understand the economic challenges Barcelona faces. This frank discussion about the club's finances contrasted sharply with the earlier show of support from Laporta, who did not travel with the team to their subsequent game against Almeria. The potential sacking of Xavi has frustrated many, as the team had shown signs of improvement under his leadership. The squad, which had struggled with form and tactics, began to display more cohesive and entertaining football. Notable performances from young talents like Lamine Yamal and rejuvenated players such as Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski provided hope for the future. Despite these positive signs, Laporta's management has often been marked by interventionist decisions, sometimes undermining Xavi's authority. One notable incident occurred in December 2023, when Laporta overruled Xavi's decision to rest key players for a Champions League match, resulting in a 3-2 loss to Royal Antwerp. Deco, too, has contributed to the instability with contentious transfer decisions that have strained the club's budget and strategic planning. The fans' support for Xavi has only intensified, creating a rift between the coach and the president. Xavi, addressing the situation, called for unity within the club, condemning the anti-Laporta chants and emphasizing the need for collective effort to move forward. Laporta, who campaigned on a platform of restoring Barcelona's glory, now faces a critical moment in his presidency. The decision to potentially part ways with Xavi, a club legend and a key figure in recent attempts to stabilize the team, could further damage the club's reputation and exacerbate the already tense relationship with its supporters. As Barcelona navigates these turbulent times, the future of one of Europe's most storied football clubs hangs in the balance. After a triumphant season that culminated in reaching the Europa League semi-finals and securing 7th place in the Premier League, Aston Villa is determined to make a bid for the Champions League next year. The club's ambitious plans are bolstered by their desire to strengthen the squad, and according to the Spanish publication Sport, Barcelona defender Ronald Araujo is their primary target. It was previously reported that Aston Villa's head coach Unai Emery and sporting director Monchi personally visited Catalonia to discuss the possibility of signing the Uruguayan defender. Barcelona was informed that an official offer would be made if the Birmingham club qualifies for the Champions League. Now that this objective has been achieved, Aston Villa is ready to take active steps. However, according to The Telegraph, Aston Villa may have to part ways with Diego Carlos to facilitate the transfer. The Brazilian defender, valued at $13 million by Transfermarkt, was a key player for the team last season, making 38 appearances across all competitions. Nevertheless, the club's management is considering the possibility of selling the 31-year-old footballer to free up funds for new acquisitions. AC Milan is among the potential buyers. The transfer of Ronald Araujo would be a strong statement of intent from Aston Villa and could mark the beginning of a new era for the club, which hasn't competed in Europe's Premier Club tournament for 42 years. Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino has left the club by mutual consent, bringing an end to his one-year tenure at Stamford Bridge. The 52-year-old Argentine manager, who signed a 2-year contract with the option of a further 12 months in July 2022, has parted ways with the club despite guiding them to a 6th-place finish in the Premier League. Pochettino's departure comes after a mixed season, which saw Chelsea struggle in the first half of the campaign but recover to win 5 consecutive matches and finish the season on a high. The team also reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup and finished as runners-up in the Carabao Cup. Chelsea will now begin the search for a new manager, with Ipswich's Kieran McKenna, Sporting's Ruben Amorim and Burnley's Vincent Kompany reportedly among the candidates. The club has expressed no interest in reappointing former managers Jose Mourinho or Thomas Tuchel, instead targeting a young head coach. Pochettino's exit is understood to be amicable, with the manager having held discussions with senior club officials before deciding to leave. His departure marks the 6th managerial change at Chelsea in 5 years, following the sackings of Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter and Frank Lampard. Sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley praised Pochettino's service, saying, "On behalf of everyone at Chelsea, we would like to express our gratitude to Mauricio for his service this season. He will be welcome back to Stamford Bridge anytime, and we wish him all the very best in his future coaching career." The club's coaching staff, including Jesus Perez, Miguel D'Agostino, Tony Jimenez, and Sebastiano Pochettino, have also left alongside the manager. While some fans may be surprised by Pochettino's departure, his tenure was marked by inconsistent results and a lukewarm reception from supporters. The club's significant investment in transfers, including over $1 billion spent since Todd Boehly's takeover in May 2022, had raised expectations, which Pochettino ultimately failed to meet. According to BBC Sports football news reporter Nizar Kinsella, Pochettino's exit was not unexpected, given the uncertainty behind the scenes and the manager's own concerns about the team's composition and injuries. The decision is seen as a mutual agreement, with Pochettino understood to have been open to continuing as manager depending on the outcome of the post-season meeting. Toni Kroos, the legendary German midfielder, has announced his intention to retire from professional football after the Euro 2024 campaign with the German national team this summer. The 34-year-old Kroos, who has been a stalwart for both Real Madrid and Germany over the past decade, confirmed his decision in an emotional statement posted on Instagram. "July 17, 2014, the day of my presentation at Real Madrid, the day that changed my life," Kroos said. "After 10 years, at the end of the season, this chapter comes to an end. I will never forget that insolent, successful time." Kroos's retirement will mark the end of an illustrious career that saw him win 21 trophies with Real Madrid, including 4 UEFA Champions League titles and 4 La Liga championships. He recorded 28 goals and 98 assists in 463 appearances across all competitions for the Spanish Giants. The 2014 World Cup winner with Germany had been expected to sign a 1-year contract extension to remain at Real Madrid for the 2024-25 season. However, he has opted instead to hang up his boots following the European Championship in Germany this summer. Kroos paid tribute to the Real Madrid fans, saying, "I would particularly like to thank everyone who welcomed me with an open heart and trusted me. But especially I would like to thank you, dear Madridistas, for your affection and your love from the first day until the last one." The midfield maestro's final match for Real Madrid is set to be the Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund on June 1st. He will then turn his focus to leading Germany's campaign to win Euro 2024 on home soil, with their opening match against Scotland on June 14th. Kroos leaves an indelible legacy as one of the greatest players in Real Madrid's storied history. His intelligence, vision and passing ability defined his exceptional career at the pinnacle of the sport. After a dramatic end to the season, where Arsenal missed out on the Premier League title to Manchester City on the final day, the London club is not content to rest on its laurels. According to information from Independent, the Gunners plan to solidify their position as the main challenger to the Citizens and acquire a star striker before the team departs for their pre-season tour of the USA in late July. Arsenal's main transfer targets are reportedly Alexander Isak from Newcastle and Brian Brobby from Ajax. Isak is the preferred option for the Londoners, but the Magpies are unlikely to agree to part with the Swedish forward, intending to sign him to a new long-term contract, Arsenal is unwilling to engage in protracted negotiations and is considering 22-year-old Dutchman Brobbey, who scored 22 goals in 42 matches this season, as the most likely alternative. Also within the Gunners' sphere of interest is Sporting striker Victor Gyökeres, who has successfully proven himself in the Portuguese league after moving from Coventry City last summer. However, the candidacy of Brentford and England forward Ivan Toney is no longer being considered due to the high transfer fee of $100 million demanded by the club. In addition to strengthening the attacking line, Arsenal intends to acquire a left-back and a central midfielder after the transfer window opens on June 14th. The specific names of potential newcomers for these positions have not yet been disclosed. It is evident that the London club is seriously determined to reinforce their squad and, once again, challenge Manchester City for the Championship title next season. It remains to be seen how events unfold in the transfer market and to await official statements from Arsenal in the coming weeks. Karim Benzema, the star striker for Al Ittihad, is reportedly eager to leave the Saudi Pro League, citing a range of issues that have led to a disappointing experience. According to sources from Relevo, Benzema has expressed his dissatisfaction to close associates during a recent trip to Madrid. His grievances include the low level of competition, inadequate facilities, and a perceived lack of professionalism within the league, which he deems essential for a top-tier football competition. Additionally, constant harassment from fans has exacerbated his frustrations. Benzema's desire to exit Al Ittihad is complicated by the lucrative terms of his contract, which extends until 2026 and is valued at $200 million. The Saudi investment fund, driving the league's acquisition of star players, maintains a firm stance on retaining marquee talents. This strategy potentially includes allowing player transfers within the league to maintain competitiveness, but does not support premature departures from the country. Benzema's predicament highlights this approach, as his significant role in representing the league, the government, and the federation means his exit will not be easily approved. Speculation about a possible return to Europe hinges on a substantial offer and the acquisition of another high-profile player to replace Benzema. Mohamed Salah is one of the names mentioned as a potential successor, given his ability to embody the league's Muslim identity and sustain its legacy. As Benzema contends with his professional and personal challenges, the future of his tenure with Al Ittihad remains uncertain. For the time being, he must balance his frustrations with his contractual obligations, whether he continues with Al Ittihad or moves to another team within the Saudi Pro League.